Hello. I wanted to make a little video about anxiety. So many of you write to me about anxiety. What is it, and how can we meet it? How can we be present when we're anxious? How can we be present with anxiety? And sometimes that's the last thing we feel like doing is staying with our anxiety, being present with our anxiety. The very nature of anxiety is that it wants to make you get out of your present experience. That's the message at the core of anxiety, is that something's wrong. You're unsafe. You need to do something, run or fight or freeze or something. So it seems so counterintuitive. Why would I want to be present with my anxiety? Isn't anxiety an enemy? So I before I begin, I just want to say, obviously, I'm not a trauma expert. I'm not an anxiety expert. There's plenty of wonderful experts in this world. I speak as someone who has met anxiety. I've met anxiety in myself over the years. I've been in my life. I've been in states of extreme anxiety, debilitating anxiety, states of panic, terrifying levels of panic, where you think you're about to die or go mad or fall into some infinite void and never come out. So I know anxiety, and I know how scary it can be and how hellish actually it can be. What I also know from my experience is that anxiety it's safe, right? Anxiety is not dangerous. Anxiety has never hurt anybody. Anxiety is a bunch of sensations in the body and thoughts buzzing through the mind. Sensations in the body have never hurt or damaged anyone. Thoughts in the mind haven't. It's what we do. It's what we do when we're in an uncomfortable experience. It's what we do when we're in that state. It's what we do to escape sensations in the body and escape mental activity. That's what can be dangerous. That's where we can hurt ourselves or hurt others. But on the level of sensations themselves, bodily sensations, no one has ever been hurt by physical sensation. Physical sensation is safe. Now, physical sensation can feel unsafe. And thoughts in the mind, pictures in the mind, voices in the head can feel unsafe. But that's trauma. That's one of the definitions of trauma, is this sense that my present experience isn't safe. These sensations in the body are not safe. They're too intense. They're too uncomfortable. I have to do something. I have to get out. I have to run. Or these thoughts in the mind, they're too dark. They're too strange. They're too sick. They're too sinful. They're too negative. I have to get rid of them. I have to stop them. So this is why meditation is so wonderful. Because in meditation, what we're doing is we're slowing down to the pace of life. We're coming out of the past and the future, and we're bringing our attention into the present moment. So why don't we just do this now instead of talking about it? If you have anxiety right now, if you're suffering from anxiety, this works with any feeling, by the way. So just become curious about this anxiety. Like, where do you feel it in your body? Is there a place in your body where you feel the anxiety the most strongly? Just check for yourself. Maybe it's in your belly. Lots of us feel anxiety in our belly. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your throat. Just notice, where is that anxiety located? Where do you feel that anxiety the most strongly? Where are those sensations the most intense? And what's so important right now is that we just allow these sensations to be here. The thing about anxiety is, the more you fight it, the more you try and get rid of it, the more you run away from it, the more you treat it like an enemy that you have to escape, the more you feed it, actually. Think about it. When you are trying to escape anxiety, when you're trying to not feel anxious, when you're trying to run away or distract yourself, or when you're trying to get out of your body, get out of your present experience, what you're really doing is treating the anxiety like an enemy, like a problem, like a mistake, like there's something wrong. What you're actually doing is telling your brain, yeah, there is something wrong. You're telling your nervous system, yeah, there's something wrong. This anxiety is wrong. This anxiety is bad. This anxiety shouldn't be here. And which, of course, just fuels the anxiety. And then you just can't rest, because now you don't just have anxiety, you have you trying to get rid of the anxiety. You don't just have anxiety, you have you trying to not be anxious. And as they say, what you resist persists. And in the case of anxiety, what you resist actually grows. And you're fueling the anxiety by trying to run away from it. And what I would say is it's the most natural thing in the world to not want to feel anxious. It's the most natural thing in the world to not want to be having an uncomfortable or intense experience. So let's not judge ourselves or punish ourselves. There's nothing wrong with you for wanting to not feel this anxiety. It doesn't mean that you're a failure, or that you're a bad spiritual student, or that you're not enlightened, or that it doesn't say anything about you. Sometimes all of us, we find it challenging, difficult to stay with, to be with our present experience. Many of us, I would say most of us, just weren't taught as children how to slow down, how to turn towards our present experience, and how to learn to trust it, to make room for it, to allow it, to give it permission. So this is what's wonderful about meditation. In a sense, we're breaking true meditation, the way I teach it. We're breaking the habit of a lifetime, this habit of running away from our experience. We're turning back towards our experience. So just turning gently back towards these sensations that we call anxiety. Because remember, anxiety is just a word. It's a word that we've learned. It's a very loaded word. When we think of anxiety, we think of, ugh, that feels really heavy and scary and negative, and I don't want that. So sometimes it's helpful just as an experiment, to put aside the word anxiety. Imagine you've never experienced anxiety before in your life, and you're just interested. What's this experience of anxiety? What's it like in the body? So just turning back towards these sensations, what are they like? The sensations in the belly, in the chest, in the throat, are they pulsating? Are they vibrating? Are they moving? Are they do they feel hot? Do they feel cold? Do they feel soft? Do they feel spiky or jagged? Are they moving in spirals? Are they moving in zigzags? Is there a color associated with these sensations? How deep do they go in your body? Do they have a shape? Is there an edge to them? This dance of sensations in your belly, in your chest, in your throat. And so what we're doing, we're just allowing these sensations, which is the opposite of running away. Because remember, running away is what feeds the anxiety. In a sense, when we turn back towards the anxiety, we're beginning to starve the anxiety. And what we're communicating to our brains, to our nervous system is, no, wait a second. It may actually be safe to feel anxiety. Maybe this anxiety isn't an enemy. That's really what we're saying. Maybe this anxiety, maybe this tightness in the belly, or this throbbing, this pulsating, or this empty feeling, this nauseous feeling, these butterfly sensations. Yeah, they're uncomfortable, and they're really intense right now. But maybe they're not a mistake. Maybe this is not an enemy. Maybe, and this is the point I wanted to get to, maybe this is just the vast intelligence of the nervous system, the vast intelligence, the timeless, ancient intelligence of the animal body, trying to protect you. So just for a moment, letting the mind be noisy. Because just like we're not trying to stop sensations in the body, we're not trying to stop the mind. And again, the more you fight the mind, the more you try and silence it, the more you try and stop it, the noisier it gets. You actually feed that noise with your resistance. So the trick is always to begin with allowing the mind to be noisy. All of those thoughts, images, pictures, voices in the head, all the voices that are warning you, especially with anxiety, they're trying to keep you safe, right? They're trying to keep you safe. They say, don't take that step. It's unsafe. Don't begin that project. It's unsafe. Don't go and do that thing that in your heart of hearts you really long to do. It's unsafe. You'll fail. You'll F up. It's those voices are It can seem from one perspective that they're the enemy. Actually, they're just trying to protect you. The nervous system only has one job, which is to try and protect you, to keep you safe. That's all it wants, is safety. So if you want to start this new project, take this courageous step, you want to begin a new relationship, you want to attend the workshop, you want to say no, you want to speak your truth, right? And you want to be vulnerable, you want to be authentic, you want to say no when you mean no and yes when you mean yes. It's scary, and your nervous system is going to try and protect you. It's going to try and say, no, don't do that. It's unsafe. We can slow down and turn towards our experience and ask anxiety, who are you? What are you? What are you made of? What do you can speak to that anxious one inside. What do you want? What do you need? Do you have a message for me? What can I do for you? How can I help? Maybe that anxious one inside, it just wants a little bit of your love and attention and presence. Not to make it go away. We're not trying to make anxiety go away. But sometimes what you find is that with this curious, loving, receptive, open attention, what you find is that the anxious one, the anxiety, may relax a little bit. It may subside. It may go away completely. It may come back. But once you start to cultivate this relationship with anxiety, you see, this relationship with anxiety where you're not against it. You're fundamentally not against anxiety. You're not against your own body. You're not against sensation. You're not against the mind. And you cultivate this relationship where when anxiety arises, you slow down and you're curious and you give it some attention and give it some love. Then miracles are possible. Miracles are possible. I've seen miracles within myself, within friends, within people I've met all over the world, when they just slow down and begin again and look with curious, open eyes, with the innocence of a child. I think Jesus said, I forgot what Jesus said. Jesus said a lot of things. Yeah, something about, we need to become like the little children to enter the kingdom of heaven. He was talking about meditation. In my view, he was talking about true meditation. We need to look at the present moment with these open, innocent eyes, not with the eyes of the expert. I know about blah, 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 blah. I know what anxiety is, and I know how to get rid of it. But with the eyes and ears and the heart of a child.